Hello everybody, I'm Matt.
I'm Kevin.
And we are
The Chucklers.
Welcome everyone to the Chucklers Undercover episode 11. And holy crap, we have a loaded episode and not a whole lot of time to get to it. So basically, we have this new tradition now of starting every episode off with a story. You know, story from our past, something that's,
Funny,
relevant,
monumental, relevant,
Yeah.
give you a laugh, a chuckle.
Now, after we tell the story, then we'll start the show and get into the announcements and stuff. And all the anniversary stuff, we're actually recording this on the anniversary. So, happy 5 years. And we have some stuff to talk about regarding the anniversary after this story. So, if future Matt, if you could be so kind, right up there somewhere, put up the time code for when we're through with the story for those who want to skip right through it. So, story time. The high school talent show. Our story begins in October of 2006 with the formation of a band called Falling Fate. Now, this band featured myself on drums, percussion, and manic ranting, Scotty on lead guitar, vocals, and dancing, and future dumbass star Austin on bass guitar. Now, we weren't any good. It was the first band, I think, for all three of us. We were at varying levels of
skill.
Yes. I had only been playing drums at this point, maybe 2 years, thereabouts. And, yeah.
Some were worse than infants.
So, lower your expectations a little bit if we ever talk about the story of Falling Fate, which Scotty and I just might in the future.
Sorry.
What now?
No.
Okay. Well, we learned this song, right? And we had a few songs that were catchy. We had hits such as Again and Again, Almost Never Cry. That was actually a pretty good song. Heaven and Hell, which had 2 words. I bet you can guess what they are. And a new song, well, new at the time, called Fear. Now, this song actually started a little bit early, where early in the band's history, I should say, maybe 3-4 months in. Early 2007, let's say February. I get a cassette tape one day from Scotty. Learn this song. Okay. And it's Scotty playing along to a drum machine with reading off the lyrics. You know, it wasn't anything too fancy, you know, recorded on a cassette tape, so that should tell you how primitive this was. And I was told, learn the song. Okay. We learned the song. And, you know, there you go. In fact, I still have the cassette tape. I still have it. Upstairs somewhere in storage, I still have, I think it might even be like sealed in a bag for evidence. The original cassette tape of Scotty playing along to the drum machine, which if I'm ever get unlazy, we're totally like uploading that to YouTube or something. I bet he really wants people to hear that. So, as the year went on, we eventually went our separate ways. And by that point, I was knee-deep in the middle of filming Dumbass with Austin and his crew, and some of my crew as well. And basically, in the meantime, Scotty had started a new band with himself, again, guitar, lead vocals, Justin on the drums, much better drummer than me, and Gabriel on the bass. Now, sometimes through Scotty, I would sit in on their rehearsals, right? And you know, because I was filming Dumbass, I was rarely seen without a camcorder. So imagine, you know, at this time period, I have a camcorder with me, sitting on the couch while people are having band practice.
We're
what
all
do you
up
do?
in their box.
You film it. You tape the band practice. So I did, just for fun. Little did I know this would actually be a kick-ass decision on my part. Okay, to be continued. Now, by this point, they had totally rewritten Fear. Fear at this stage in the game had completely evolved. It was like Fear 4.0 with added spyware protection. Like, this was a fucking fantastic rendition of the cassette tape with the drum machine, right? Justin had like completely kick-assified the drums. Gabriel had the bass on fucking lock, right? And I was blown away by this version of the song that I keep, I remember from with the drum machine, right? It's
good, not that good.
Come a long ways. Well, towards the end of the semester in high school, we were sophomores, I think. There was a talent show, and Scotty, Justin, and Gabe decided to, audition for that talent show. And I think it was in the cafeteria. Justin's mom filmed all that stuff, right? She had her own video camera, and I think I somewhat remember. It might have been pictures. I don't remember. But Scotty and Justin, and I believe Gabe was there too, in the cafeteria playing Fear. So it was through that they got asked back to play at this school-wide pep rally, in front of the whole school on the very last day of the fall semester, right before this 2-week break for Christmas, all that stuff.
Christmas and all that.
And we would come back in the first week of January, or the second week in January, I think it might have been. So, that's a big deal. That's a big opportunity, I thought. So, of course, Gabriel, who I also had a class with, a tech theater class, he was, basically, he had other commitments because of this, and said he couldn't play on stage with them during this pep rally, which is a bummer, right? You play in front of the whole school, and then your bass player, which is an essential part of the band, I feel. You can't go without a bass in a rock band. You can't. You need the balance. And I didn't want them to go on stage without that. So, without even thinking, like, my head just shot up. Yo, I'll do it. Now, when my hand shot up, and that is totally not a Nazi salute. It kind of looked like it, but it's not. When my hand shot up, I didn't think it through at all. Like, there were two very important things that I needed to get in my mind, right? Number one, that I would be playing in front of the entire school. Everyone that I've grown up and known forever, plus complete strangers, will be there. I didn't think that. I didn't think that far. And number two, I didn't know how to play the fucking bass. Now,
it's the best one.
I'm a drummer, okay? I don't know how to play the bass. I'd never played a guitar before at this point. I was very, in over my head, let's say. Now, on the car ride home after I shot my hand up and said, yo, I'll do this, agreeing to humiliate myself, essentially, in front of the entire school, plus teachers. Plus
Daddy
teachers.
had to see the next day.
Now,
or the next semester.
on the way home, I told my dad my problem. He was my chauffeur basically. Took me everywhere. Because I didn't have a car at the time. I was only like, what, 15? 16 maybe?
Barely just getting our fucking learner's permit.
Right. I didn't have a car at this point, so I basically vented to my dad. I was like, listen, man, I got myself in way over my head. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. And of course, it wasn't set in stone at this point that I would be doing it. But come on, when you shoot your hand and volunteer yourself, you gotta try. So, I knew he played bass, or he had a bass. He was a bass player when he was my age, basically. So, I figured, you know what, I can let him listen to the song, decipher what I need to know, and then show me. Simple enough, right? So for the 2 weeks between that point and the humiliating performance in front of everybody I've known, in my basement, I dug out the original rehearsal tapes of them playing Fear, and for the next 2 weeks, every single day after school, with my dad's Epiphone viola bass. It's like, it looks like the Paul McCartney Beatle bass, right? So imagine that on me. So, every day after school, I just rewound that tape over and over and over and over again. I still have the tape, in fact. So, I could actually, like, put the tape on the screen between us so people could at least see what I saw in the basement over and over and over and over again for 2 weeks. Okay, there was so much. I knew every beat, every moment of the song, every word of the song, and it's still ingrained in my mind nearly 10 years later, right? So, yeah. Basically the first day I had the song memorized. So, but that's the thing though. Again, I had to clear it before I could even think about actually, seriously getting up in front of the school, right? And what I mean by clear it is, sure, Gabriel, you know, I could replace him during rehearsals, but as far as the school was concerned, it was Scotty, Justin, and Gabe who would be playing. So there was this process where I had to flag down, and I think Gabe, who I had fourth period tech theater with, was there. Like, he introduced me to the teacher who was in charge of the talent show, and I want to say he might have been responsible for them getting the talent show to begin with. So he was able to introduce me to the teacher, and I told him the situation that I would, you know, have to fill in. And because the pep rally was meant to be attended by those with the best grades, and I was average student at best, there was a little bit of, you know, I had to get it cleared with the committee, I guess, that decides that shit. And the next day, flagged him down again, and with, like, he drug it out to on purpose. I eventually got in. That's when it got real. That's when I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? Because I had to get over stage fright. Like, I'm a shy person. Like, talking to a camera is fine. Getting up in front of an entire group of people, that's something else, right?
Good.
So, I had to mentally prepare with this in mind, because in about a week after this point was the dress rehearsal, where they paced the show out and basically had everything drawn out, you know, who would do what, and there were skits. It was like this, I forget what the theme of it was, but the talent show was slotted in somewhere in the middle, right? So there was this span of maybe 20, 30-ish minutes where the show started and we were just off on stage chilling. There was a couch too, like we were like all sitting on a couch, all three of us, and we had a marker board or a chalkboard with every skit drawn out. So we memorized the order. Came out like 6th, let's say. So I basically had the experience of playing in front of people on an instrument I did not know how to play for the very first time, and it wasn't a large group of people, maybe 20, 25 people, maybe. To be continued. And I found out after the fact there was a driver's ed class that were there also. There were little classrooms to the side in the auditorium.
Had a little folding door you could close.
A thin folding door that could close, yeah. Exactly. And the driver's ed class was in there. So they heard everything, right? I didn't know this till after the fact. Someone who was taking driver's ed at the time said, "Oh yeah, we heard it." So I was kind of like, "Oh, okay." Didn't know what to think there, but that was like an important step, though. You know, getting over that hurdle of playing in front of even that small number of people. It was beneficial. That's when the nervousness sort of became excitement. You know, that's whenever I was, you know, I still played the song every day after school in the basement on the amp on that Epiphone bass, Beatle bass, but at the same time, between I think the dress rehearsal and the actual thing itself, my dad had a friend who he lent a Fender Precision bass, which, if you know what those look like, it looks a lot better. It's much more, it fits more than the Beatle bass did with a rock song, right? So, we were able to get that back, and from that point on, I ditched the Epiphone and used the Precision. And you know what? In fact, I think we used Precision. The first night I had it was the night before the dress rehearsal. I think, because the only time I ever actually played the song with Scotty and Justin and ourselves, amongst ourselves, was the night before the dress rehearsal. Okay? So, and it's taped too. There's footage of that, which I'll probably include below, because I taped it. Of course I did. And it's the only footage of me ever on a bass guitar, so that's noteworthy, I guess. So that was the night before that first performance in front of 20 some odd people, plus a driver's ed class of maybe 50 more people. You know, the next day, very next day. And as a little interlude, there was a little fun fact. It doesn't really add much to this story, but this is the halfway point, I guess. A detour. Between the dress rehearsal and the pep rally itself, we wrapped filming Dumbass. This was December 15th, 2007. So, little detour there, just a little idea. And I think the dress rehearsal was the 10th, and the show was the 20th. I think. Excuse me. Now, we had this on the last day of filming for Dumbass. We, in fact, at the high school, just right outside the auditorium, there was like a fun run type thing. I think the Jingle Bell Run, I think it was called.
Jingle Bell Run, that's exactly what it was called.
Where we met up at the Joy Theater and plotted out this thing, and we basically chilled outside the high school in the horrible December morning weather. It's like 7 a.m. I think the dog, Lexi, is underneath the thing.
Yes,
I think that's what that sound is. Lexi's climbed under the building. But, yeah. So halfway, adds nothing to the story, I know. But it happened. It happened at the halfway point. So, yeah, filmed up. Dumbass was done. So after that, and I think I might have actually, like, slotted that as the end of Dumbass so I could focus on the pep rally, because we ended up filming stuff after that point. That was just the last time we had the whole group of people together filming. Anyways, day of the show, December 20th. I woke up at 6 a.m. gathered all my stuff, Fender Precision, cables, picks, you know, put it in the case, stashed it in the back of my dad's tracker, and showered, which was probably a bad idea, which we'll get to. 6:45 a.m., the earliest I have ever shown up at that fucking school, at any school. 6:45 a.m., the sun had not even risen yet. You know, wet hair, you know, nicest brand new leather jacket, you know, in December weather, deep December weather, okay? I was freezing my ass off because they didn't open up the auditorium until 7:20. Let that sink in. It's 40 whole minutes with... It's a miracle I wasn't sick after that. That's all I'm saying. So, waited outside for a long time, you know, before anyone showed up to let us in. And I think Justin and his mom in the van with his drums showed up, you know, maybe...
Yeah, and then me and Scotty.
And then you and Scotty.
Late as shit.
Yeah, late as shit.
Late as shit.
Because Scotty used to give him rides to and from school every day.
Late as could be. Rolling up at my house at what? Fucking 7:30?
I don't know.
Gotta be there at 8. And I live 35 minutes away from school. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, eventually we get in, and that's whenever I found out that we would not be doing the pep rally set once, but twice. That was news to me. Turns out they split it into two because there were too many people to fit in the auditorium. So they separated. The first set would be the underclassmen, the freshmen and sophomore, my class. And the second class, later in the day after lunch, would be the juniors and seniors, his class. So, that's news. So we have, it started at 9:30, I think. But I was supposed to report the first period to get counted there for the day. So, I got to first period, you know, told her, like, listen, I gotta leave, like, right now. You know, I can't stay. And she was like, come on, you gotta stay or else I'll count you late. Or absent. And I'm like, well, listen, I'm gonna have to take it because we got a sound check. Okay. So I left. And I still think she counted me absent, but it did not matter in the end. But I get up there, we sound check. Went smooth. You know, I had a monitor, which was nice. I could hear the drums and Scotty. The drums were just very loosely mic'd, though. I think there were, you know, just two mics over his cymbals. And Scotty, mic, guitar, and then my bass. And the bass plugged into the stage.
Terrible setup from what Scotty used to say. Well, terrible.
Between that sound check, which was awesome, and the start of that first set, someone fucked up. Because when it came time to do the first set, nothing worked. Okay? Now, around 9:30 in the morning, people filled in. And I don't remember the exact order. Let's say it was 6. It was somewhat kind of early, but still like 20-30 minutes of waiting. Nervous, by the way. Nervous. And we were positioned stage left, just off stage, behind the curtain. There were side curtains and then the back curtain. And then Justin's drums were behind the back curtain, right? So, you know, we would come on stage, the curtain would open, and there's Justin starting the song. Because he actually started off the song. It was the drums, then guitar, then bass, and then the singing. So, the anxiety happened, and that's when it got real. Like, we were nervous. I think all three of us were honestly really nervous. I don't think Scotty showed that he was nervous, but he looked nervous. Yeah, Justin, he was experienced. This was like his second pep rally, because I remember freshman year he did a drum solo in front of the whole school. I didn't know it was him until we did this. In fact, that's whenever I found out, oh dude, that was you. But yeah, that was that. And then me, who, you know, I had that one little experience, but then multiply that by fucking 20 at least. So yeah, moment of truth. We're announced by the girl at the podium, and we just awkwardly walk on stage. Silence, right? Basically, I think there might have been a smattering.
It was the same to both, because I know from my class nobody said shit.
Well, Justin said ahead of time, it doesn't matter what happens, get ready, because as soon as they say our name, I'm starting. And we had maybe 5 minutes of leeway. So we had to fucking dash on stage. He started playing, his fucking curtains open. I ran, grabbed the bass, or I might have had the bass already on me, I don't remember, but I had the bass and turned it up just in time, right? And then once it came time for Scotty to sing, that's when I noticed, oh shit, our monitors did not work. And if I remember correctly, there was feedback for the first like 10 seconds. So somebody fucked up and the sound was somewhere. And that was like awful, right? It's awful. It's a terrible thing to have happen. Not to mention you don't know what you're doing. And the only thing, because I'm a drummer, like my first instinct, listen to the drummer. You know, because listening to the tape in the basement every day for 2 weeks prior to this. I listened to the drummer. I knew what he was going to do. I just, his signal, then I would do it. So he was 5 feet away from me, so I could just hear him. I didn't need the monitor, but I think Scotty may have. I don't know. I wanted to get him here to tell his side of the story, if he could remember it. But that didn't work out this time. Just, sorry, Scotty. Yeah. We soldiered through it. We got to the end of the song, and there was, a polite applause. A pity applause, I think. And also, I remember this too. The leather jacket bit, I got because it was December. But as soon as I got under them hot-ass stage lights, I was cooking, man. Yeah, those lights were horrible, man. I was being cooked alive. No shit. So, okay. It could have been better. Should have been better. But I was decently satisfied. I don't remember there being major mistakes on our part. I could be misremembering, but it's a 10-year-old memory. I have not revisited it, at least in video form. But afterwards, we chilled with Gabe, the tech guy. Yeah, he had a walkie-talkie, and that's when we found out that there were 2 surprises coming for the pep rally. At the very end, one of the guys was that dude Spencer Pratt, I think his name is, from MTV. I have no idea who this dude is, by the way. I'm just going by memory. I think that was his name. Either way, MTV Man was set to show up at the end of.
Are you talking about the producer dude?
I don't know. Well, no, different guy.
Okay.
He's coming later.
Okay.
Spencer, I think his name is, was going to show up at the end of the first half for the underclassmen, and then he had to be.
That was the dude from that fucking show.
What show? Tell me. Because I don't know. I really don't know.
Hold on. Jersey Shores.
I think this was before that.
No. Certain.
Either way.
One didn't show, one did.
Either way. Yeah, I think his girlfriend was supposed to come, but last minute dropped out. And they were getting him from the airport at that moment, after the thing, and there was still maybe 45 minutes to an hour left in the pep rally, the first half. And so we were with Gabe, just goofing off, chilled outside, like we were away from the rest of the thing. We didn't give a shit, Even at the end of the dress rehearsal, like when we were done, I peaced out, man. I didn't care to see the end of the pep rally. I didn't care. So I was out back, the back of the doors, chilling with Gabe and a couple other of the stagehands. And that's when I found out through the walkie-talkie that he was on the way, and we were like getting updates every few minutes, like we're on 85 on the way, we're pulling in, T-minus 15 minutes sometimes we would get from the guy who was getting, I guess, the driver or someone close to the driver. So eventually, at the end of this thing, MTV Man shows up. And I think at this point I was off stage again just to watch it, because, we figured the guy was going to show up any moment. And I didn't have anything better to do. I think I went back inside and chilled. Either way, MTV Man shows up, everyone floods to the stage. People in the crowd are trying to touch fucking MTV Man. Oh my god, yes, oh my god. Bunch of preteen girls, or little early teen, I guess, at this point, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls. At this, I was dumbfounded, right? Because the principal, with the bullhorn, I believe.
We didn't know who this dude was, but everybody else seemed to take a liking to him. Was like, fuck it, whatever.
No, principal ended up coming on stage and pretty much said, anyone who stayed is getting written up, suspended, you got detention, whatever. Go eat lunch. That was the moral of the story. Go eat lunch. So I went, ate lunch, and it was the most, like, weirdest lunch of my life, okay? Because I thought everyone was watching me, and it might not have even been they were watching me. I was too scared to look up, but it felt like they were, right? And that was so weird. Like, I rushed through my fucking meal as quickly as I could, and then snuck out early to... Because I didn't have any classes. I got out every single class that day. I just went right back to the auditorium, because everyone had cleared out, principal was gone. It was just us and maybe 5, 6 other people. Stagehands, mostly. And that's when I met Omar. Omar would show back up a few years, a couple of years down the line, with another band that I was a part of. Future episode, we'll get to that, more than likely. And I got to know him. He was part of the talent show also, played the saxophone. And that's when I found out that the other special guest is on his way. And the other special guest, the producer guy, I can't remember his name, but he apparently went to the high school 10 years or so before us. Graduate, somewhat big name, they got him to come back. So, I didn't know who he was. Obviously, I still don't know. And, yeah, that was weird because, but actually, there's this whole story I should get to before I even get to the producer man, because this whole second half, the lull between lunch and everyone coming back, it was maybe an hour to kill beforehand. And Scotty, we're on stage, or I'm on stage messing with the drums. Of course, as a drummer, I played the drums. Small group of people just screwed around. And then I noticed way in the distance up at the top, where them folded away walls are that separates the driver's ed classrooms, in fact. They were folded outward, so students that would be in that classroom, they could see the stage. And there's Scotty. They're sitting there, sulking, angry, pissed off at the world. And I go up there and I'm like, yo, dude, what's up, man? What you doing? He's like, I ain't gonna play. I'm like, what the fuck you mean you ain't gonna play, man?
The rock, man.
What? And he's like, no, dude.
Fuck, dude.
Only way I'm playing is if we get another sound check. I want this to sound good. There ain't no way I'm getting back and playing under them conditions again. I refuse to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go flag down the guy. Come on. So, after a wild goose chase that took way longer than it needed to, we were finally granted a sound check. And, we're talking very last minute. Like 5 minutes before we started playing the song, people were going to come in. Like, it was last minute. So, we eventually got the sound check. Everything sounded good. Monitors worked. Sounded good. Everything was right with the world. So, people start filling in. And this is the part where the story gets fucky. Seriously fucky. Alright. We broke for a second there. Second half. Alright. Continuing on with the story. Now, this other special guest, the villain of the story, the producer guy, basically, when he showed up, he hijacked the show.
Yeah.
This whole schedule, this whole plan of events, this whole blackboard that was in the back that showed everything that was supposed to happen, all the skits and stuff got completely... You might as well could have just thrown out the blackboard. So, like, we were sitting just out of view on the side of the stage, waiting on this dude to kindly shut the fuck up for an hour. Over an hour, okay? And like, come on. And like, he was like hyping up the guy. I mean, it might have been good for the audience, but for us wanting to play our fucking song, we were just sitting there baffled at, what the fuck? Is this dude just totally gonna like hog the entire fucking thing? We're not gonna get to play.
Yeah.
And I was pissed, Scotty was pissed, Justin was pissed, Omar was pissed. It was just, I mean, at one point, he got behind Justin's drums, right? And I thought, oh yeah, okay, cool. That's going to be the point where, he had music playing. Like, he brought his own music, I think. Did he?
Yep.
Brought his own music. So he gets on Justin's drums, starts playing, you know, playing the drums and stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, we get to play after this, surely, right? This went on for way too long enough that Omar decided he's going into business for himself, and he waltzes on stage with the saxophone, just playing, just riffing, completely, just improvising an entire saxophone solo with this dude, Feemster. That was his name. That was the producer's name, his last name at least.
Yeah.
Like Bob Feemster or something. It was something like that. Ron, I think. Ron Feemster. Does that name ring a bell? Is that the guy?
Oh shit, I don't know. My memory fails me there. I know he's a producer. I know he's a producer.
He's a producer.
Lives in Cali.
Yeah.
From here. Funny.
Well, basically, the whole, you know, thing. And I think he lets other people come on stage and do their thing first. Because there was one girl who sang. Someone I knew, actually.
She was good.
She was good. She had a fantastic voice. And because he was a producer, he was like, yo, you know, who is this girl?
Gave her a
and
card.
Apparently, yeah, gave her a card. I don't know if anything ever happened after that.
We would only speculate as to yes, considering what we heard, and that was a damn good vocal.
Well.
From her.
Anyways.
Anyway.
After well over an hour... It's gone to the point, like, it's gone on so long, it's almost the end of the school day. Right? Like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the school bell is going to ring, and people are going to be dismissed to go home. Think about that. Okay? This dude has managed to take up that much time at this point. Like, we're just sitting, I'm on the couch, just hung back. Scotty? We ain't playing this fucking song, are we? So, he, eventually, after a lot of fanfare, and even more waiting, he fucks off. So, we finally, sort of come around to the idea, okay, maybe we're gonna get to play. And sure enough, the girl comes in. How long is your song? 5 minutes. You know. And she's like, could you shorten the guitar solo? You know, we were trying to squeeze you in, and we were like, oh yeah, sure, we'll do the guitar solo. Oh yeah. And she's like, okay, you're up after this guy. Okay. So with no time to mentally prepare, really, you know, someone, I forget who, but one before us was done in no time. It felt like we were, you know, please welcome. You know, we walk on stage, silence again, and it seemed even more awkward than the first time. I don't know why. I think because it might have took Justin longer to get to the drums. The curtain was already open, by the way. I remember that too. That
yeah.
Because he was playing the drums, curtains were open. So we didn't get that cool visual that we got the first time around. Whatever. Well, song, we play. It's good. And, and Justin's mom also filmed that one. Not the first one, though. The first one will forever be a memory. And I've tried at least twice, maybe even 3 times over the years to get a copy of that. I doubt they even have it anymore. But that tape of Justin at the pep rally, you know, exists. That's all I'm saying. But I've never seen it, and now that I'm reciting this story, it's probably so much better than the actual performance, because I was looking down the whole time. I looked up at a sea of total blackness, being cooked alive over the leather jacket, because I never took it off. You know, just hair. You know, it was like the beetle bun, or beetle bob, whatever you call it, hairstyle with the bangs over your eyes. And I might have had sunglasses. But I got through the song, and for the first time ever, we got a standing ovation. Right?
Yep.
It was the loudest crowd reaction I have ever heard, before or since. Well, okay, maybe not since, because I've been to actual concerts, but I mean, to me, towards me, that is the loudest applause I will probably ever get. And, yeah, I mean, we totally didn't shorten the song at all. Well, like, the girl wanted to keep it short. Oh no, we did the full guitar solo. That was, after everything that we had been through, and that mental roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster of thinking we weren't going to play, that our fucking, you know, we were forced to deal with that one shitty performance as our mark on history. No. I heard that.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, that, you know, for that to happen, we took the moment, we played the whole thing, we didn't shorten it, and seems like as soon as we finished the song, beep, the school bell was over, and it was a literal metric clusterfuck of students leaving.
Getting the fuck up out of there.
Right.
Okay. Bye. Later. But you had the occasional people that stuck around to talk to the producer man.
Well, after the song was over, I fucked off as well.
Pretty much everybody did.
Well, that's the thing, because, you know, I didn't want to stick around at all, like, after the thing. I don't think I helped Justin tear his stuff down. I don't think I stuck around for that. Normally I would, but I don't think I did this time. I think I grabbed the bass, put it in the case, gone. And Scotty said, "Oh, you know what? I'll give you a ride home." And of course, you know what that means. We got to hang out for what could have very, very possibly have been the very first time. I don't remember, but I knew of you, at least.
Yes. I helped him set up the equipment.
Yeah.
Well, carry it in. I didn't really know what the hell I was doing, but, you know, podcast.
Be careful where you lay that, because that does sometimes screw with the microphone if it's laid against this thing.
I thought it was doing it. That's what I was trying to figure out earlier.
Well, yeah, we hung out in the back of Scotty's car. I was in the back seat, Kevin was in the passenger, Scotty was driver. And we hung out and ate chocolate.
No, it was Scotty. Scotty was the one with the razor. Little black, looks like a chapstick bottle. But I had the round part at the bottom. When you twisted it, the razor would stick out and then flop open. And we were talking about it like a penis.
Put a pin in that. I want to hear more of this story at some point. But we hung out, ate chocolate turtles, went home, and that was where I was gifted the Epiphone bass, which, in fact, I have it.
Bah, you think, go, you think.
I was gifted this. This is the bass, the Epiphone bass that I practice in the basement. Horribly out of tune. You probably can't even hear it. But I was gifted this when I got home that day, and that's the end of the story. Yeah. So, it's time to start the show. So, we're going to do a few quick announcements. I'm going to set this back first.
Yeah.
So, quick word from our sponsors. Okay. So, Chucklemania 2017 has been postponed. Today is the anniversary, okay? And originally, if you watched the last episode, you already know this. Originally, the plan was a 5-day-long stream, multi-stream with a bunch of different people, and the plan was every single night it would be a different person. You know, or a different group, a different crew. Like, the idea that I had, of course, you know, I'm gonna reveal the original idea and then reveal the new idea. It's not even really new idea. It's just gonna happen at a later date, probably early August. But the original idea was Monday we were going to do Minecraft as per usual with Scotty on stream, as we always do. Trollcraft is the mod pack we've been playing. Tuesday we would have done Xbox Mega Session with Aaron and his guys, and maybe other guys like Glenn, Ashley maybe, and it would have been like GTA or, you know, something of theirs, Rocket League maybe. something zombies, possibly. And then Wednesday would be more Minecraft, but we had another idea. We were going to go back to Sky Factory 3 and do a server-wide project on there, which we might still do. I don't remember. But it's been a while since I planned this out, by the way. This is an episode we've actually delayed once. Well, twice, really, if we count last night. It was originally going to come out in, like, May. So, yeah, that episode 12 was originally going to be the anniversary episode. And episode 11 would have been in May. So, just saying, this is old information. Wednesday would have been more Minecraft. Thursday would have been a PS4 mega session. Same thing as the Xbox guys, but with Kevin. Maybe Chris, Charlie, maybe. A bunch of different people. We have a whole cast and crew of people.
Oh.
Lacking. Shout out to all the people. Go ahead.
Fucking Lacking, you goddamn... fucking Ike, you goddamn... That's enough. I don't want to go through that long-ass list, okay?
Well...
plenty of them.
Thursday was going to be the PS4 night, and we had other stuff we could have done.
PS4 homies, okay?
Yeah. Chill session.
Chill.
And then Friday would have been a live Chucklers Undercover episode 12, which at the end of this episode I will reveal what episode 12, because that plan has not changed. So, right. Episode 12 would have been a completely different episode than this, which would come out today. Right, or at least today. This I don't know when this is going up on YouTube and Twitch. I don't know yet. But we're recording this on the anniversary, so it's July 28th, just to give an idea. July 28th would have been Friday, episode 12. So, and then Saturday, it would have all gone up on YouTube, highlights. It would have, basically, that was the plan. 5 days for the 5-year anniversary. Cool, right? So, that was the plan all the way up through May into June. And then at the end of June, something happened. Okay? And I won't get into exactly what happened, but it involved our entire stream schedule being thrown out the window for the time being. Now, I'll, get into that in a minute. Maybe. I definitely won't, talk about what happened, like what led into that, but I'll get into maybe what will happen when we get back to it. But anyways, so now the anniversary week is come and going, and I've instead rushed through, kicked ass on Monday to deliver episodes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 up on Twitch. Episodes 1 through 3 were already up there at this point in time. Right. So, we're all caught up on anniversary episodes, and it's after midnight. So, at the time that we're recording this, our very first YouTube video, which we might as well react to at some point, will have hit Twitch. And that was like the anniversary idea, is that put our very first video up that we put out on this day 5 years ago. Why not? You know, it seems like a in lieu of an actual anniversary special, which is forthcoming, but will probably be 1 day or 2 days. I have not decided, and I have not decided exactly who will be, but Scotty is likely, Aaron is likely, I would say Kevin is probably likely, Chris is a solid maybe, and Glenn I don't even know. So, look forward to that. I don't know what games we're going to play. I don't know who will take part. I don't know if it'll be like a shift thing. But it will definitely be live streamed on Twitch at some point in early to mid-August. So, yes. On the note, though, of new stuff that we've been working on in the meantime, because, yes, we have not been streaming. Well, not true. I have been streaming, just not on anywhere near a consistent schedule. We've been coming back around to recording more highlight reel recording videos. You know, we did one that you can see on both YouTube and Twitch called Return of the Chuckleheads. It was a GTA Online thing that we recorded one night out of the blue. Was not really planned. I mean, it was just we were going to record a video, and if it was funny, we would put it up on YouTube. Highlight thing, right?
Right.
And it's cool because, you know, sometimes we like to play games without dealing with a live audience, having to look at dropped frames or who's in chat. We don't have to be on our best behavior. We can edit stuff out. And that's what I liked about that. And so we've stockpiled a fair amount, a few hours of footage, of GTA footage. So we may dip into that at some point and put out more videos, GTA Online videos of like motorcycle runs, missions,
drug runs,
yeah,
resupplies, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we
hoping to get in the bunkers.
We don't know if it'll be a regular thing yet. It would be cool, but I'm not a huge fan of the long editing times. Like, I'm just not into it. So, yeah, I've been stockpiling GTA sessions. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yep.
And with that being said, there are no plans whatsoever of going back to the Let's Plays. Just, we're not even going to try to adhere to a schedule at the moment, just because it's almost impossible to do it. I've tried for years to try to get a consistent release schedule on Chucklers stuff. Between having the hardest time getting people to meet up and having the hardest time keeping motivated for 8-hour-long editing sessions, where I sometimes have to watch the same single one game. I'll probably have to watch 2 or 3 times and edit twice, record the game, render it once, record a commentary, render it a second time, editing it and clipping out stuff as we went along. That takes a long time. Huh?
The no-nos.
The no-nos.
The no-nos.
And there were a lot of them.
There was a lot of no-nos.
And, like, I remember the hardest one was Call of Duty Zombies. By the time we got to, like, Die Rise, the Black Ops 2 maps, I was so beyond done with editing and stuff. Once I finished Die Rise and all that stuff, I didn't edit a single video for months. Like 3 months after that, until we did the Sonic games. I think Sonic 2 was after that. And we did Drunk Sonic 1 at the beginning, right as we started Call of Duty Zombies. And so, that being said, there are, you know, all these videos on YouTube, hundreds of videos, that, of Let's Plays and stuff, that, this is the big announcement, by the way, we're moving over to Twitch. Now, not every single video, we're talking hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours of content that we would have to, put out, and it's going to be over a gradual period of time. It's not going to be one of everything. We may do it like we did the Undercovers this week, where it was a new one every day, leading up to this. But basically, every episode of the Chucklers Undercover is now on Twitch, including this one, eventually. Certain Let's Plays in their entirety, you know, just to name a few off. Portal, our very first Let's Play, which Part 1 would have gone up 5 years ago tonight. Fun fact. Sonic Adventure, which was a long one, but a good one. Drunk Sonic 1, because that's a fun one. Maybe the best one. It might be my favorite one, honestly.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Zombies, and Minecraft. Our Cryptic Castle, the Colosseums, that stuff is going up also. So, the greatest hits. We'll call it the greatest hits. And we'll give it a cool little name like Chucklers Rewind. You know, what do you think that's a good name for it? Chucklers Rewind.
Revived. Old material coming back.
Well, it's also rewinding back to 3, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah. We'll give it the title here.
Yeah. And, of course, some of the old holiday specials.
TBD. To be determined.
TBD. The old holiday specials, like the St. Patrick's Day special, the New Year's special, the fucking Valentine's Day, Arbor Day extravaganza.
Fun shit. Okay.
That'll be, maybe, some of it. The uncut stuff, maybe. It will somewhat maybe get on there. I don't know yet. And, you know, some of the videos will probably be tweaked a little bit, just edited down, or some maybe re-edited in some places because of the quality. The early Chucklers stuff was not HD, okay? It was an MPEG video of 480p, because it was done on a DVD recorder. With this same exact microphone, actually, yeah, this microphone that you're hearing right now is the microphone, okay? So, yeah. History right here. We've used this since the very beginning.
Box that bitch.
Still using it.
Museum.
The quality wasn't that great, so we'll probably bump that up. And of course, not everything is going up. You know, definitely not all at once, because good God, that's a lot of work. Okay, so it'll be a period of time, and you know, of course, at the moment, streams are up in the air. We don't really have a schedule. What?
Keep going.
Okay.
The last part down there. Just keep going. Just keep going.
What, the or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's laughing at the script. The streams are up in the air, but you know, it's outside our control at the moment. Hopefully by end of August, maybe, hopefully, aiming here, we'll have some semblance of a stream schedule. Maybe even if it's one day a week, I think I'll be okay with that. We'll be okay with that for now.
Yeah.
One day a week, maybe 2 days, maybe. Might be the same. We might can be able to get back to the same one. I don't know. But and I wasn't. This is another thing, by the way. Something I added last minute to the script. I wasn't going to comment on it, you know, in this episode. But last year, you know, for the last year anniversary special, the plan was to do the long-awaited. This is something like 4 years ago. I first mentioned this. Chris and I did a backyard wrestling thing, and there were tapes of this backyard wrestling group. That it was a lot of footage that I edited down and was going to release last year, but at the very last minute decided that is so loud.
Mm-hmm.
Very last minute decided, you know what, this probably ain't a good fit for the Chucklers, because, you know, we just do streams, gaming stuff. Backyard wrestling just did not really fit. Unlike Dumbass, for example. We did Dumbass, of course, 3 years ago now, 2014.
Yep.
So, you know, that one fit in a little bit better. But the UWF stuff, that's what we called it, by the way. And, yeah, it was just, I just feel like, I feared at least, that releasing the content, all that stuff, the weird backyard wrestling stuff from up to 12 years ago, would just get a lot of what the fuck reactions from people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people are like, what the fuck is this?
Was this?
Right, because it's without context, without knowing what it is and what it means in the grand scheme of things, at least in the timeline of the Chucklers. You know, it's kind of, you know, without that, I don't think the Chucklers would have happened, or at least wouldn't have happened when it did. But speaking of what the fuck moments, okay, we're done with the announcements now. In the last episode, we started a segment where just what the fuck moments, where just stuff happens in our everyday life that just deems the question,
What the fuck?
Okay, and back in April, I so wish I recorded this. This cacophony, right? There was like a 9-day stretch where it was just rain.
All I fucking did was rain, yo.
Constant downpours, okay?
Yes.
And because of all that rain, the driveway right behind this door flooded. And like a small lake, it pretty much, because the driveway dips and then levels out. And that dip, there was a lake, a river, that spanned all the way across the driveway, right? Now, after a dinner at Waffle House, yeah, between he and I, we came back here. After a dinner at Waffle House, just he and I, we came back here. And I think we hung out in the car.
Yep.
We might have even come in here. I don't remember. But
no, it was in the car.
It was in the car?
Yep.
Well, we were in the driveway. And we were just talking after dinner, as you do. And we couldn't help but notice this sound that had migrated to this lake. About dozens, couple dozen maybe.
Couple dozen, yeah.
Pissed off frogs.
Okay, let me explain. We're used, you might hear them now, with the whole fucking grasshoppers and the crickets and all that bullshit out there right now.
You think that's bad?
We're used to this. Okay, but we're sitting here in this fucking driveway and all here, like
loud,
every
loud as shit,
half a
man.
second we're hearing one.
You cannot think when you hear this. Right?
Right.
So, I comment on it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? This shit ain't normal. And Kevin chimed in.
Well, hell, you've got the fucking mini Mississippi River right in your fucking driveway. What the fuck you expect? Yes.
Perfect. And that was the what the fuck moment. That's what made me remember the what the fuck moment. The mini Mississippi River. Because that shit lasted for like 2 weeks, man. It rained for 9 days straight, but that shit persisted for like 2 weeks. Until it eventually dried up and the frogs went somewhere else. But, viewers, if you have an example of a what the fuck moment, and you want us to show it on the Undercover in the next episode or whatever, send it to us at the Chucklers on Twitter. Or Facebook if you know the information. The Chucklers.
Yes.
Send it. We will read it. We will deem it worthy. I mean, not everything is what the fuck worthy. I mean, I'm sorry.
And don't send us no petty bullshit, okay? Don't send us something where you're sitting there shooting a cornflake out your nose or some shit, okay? That's obviously not gonna make it.
We're talking like shit that should not be. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Not shit that should not be so much as shit that just
shouldn't happen.
Okay, should not be. Let's just fucking say shit that should not be.
It should not happen. It should not have. Yes, no. Out of the ordinary, odd, strange. If it matches those 3 words, what the fuck moment. Okay? Just a what the fuck moment. Send it, please.
So what you been playing?
Ark. A lot.
You got it on PS4?
Yes.
PS4. You had it on PC too. Yeah.
I was a PC player
Started off
for a
PC,
while.
I remember
PC crashed. Came out on my console. I've been playing it for a minute. Little fun fact about it. The 8th of next month, it actually fully releases. Finally.
What it was.
No,
listen, man.
This is beta release on PlayStation.
Why? Why do they have early access? Listen, man. I think because Ark, I feel, is such a broken game. I'm sorry, man. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think Ark is very good in very key places. Okay, the graphics. You can set it to good graphics, but it fucking looks awful. It like the ground is mistextured. The lighting is bad. When you're like inside of a base, the lighting like it basically acts like the sunlight is still there, and it just looks bad to me. It has shit that you should have before you should release it to the public, man.
Yep.
You got to have that shit under control.
It's an addictive game, especially when you get into the PvP aspect of it.
So hopefully, before that fucking full release next month, they fix that shit.
They've already started implementing. They had to change their servers first, because the problem was to fix all that they couldn't. They're working off of Google servers.
Either way, man. Either way, you gotta know, like, if your game has very basic.
Homie, demand is demand. You've gotta produce.
I guess, but
I mean,
I personally just don't see the point in it, because people are going to buy that game thinking it's the full game, expecting a full game.
Other than that, Friday the
13th, broken stuff. That was Broken and Jason mixed together because he brought up Friday the 13th. Yes. Okay. What have I been playing, you might ask? We know what he's been playing.
Yes.
I pulled out, because I've not been streaming much, and when I have streaming, it was Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing on Steam. I had the game on 360 years ago. And, All-Stars Racing Transformed. Did I say that part? That one. And that prompted me to pull out my 3DS, which I had the game for, and I've been playing the 3DS now. Now, before I actually get into the game part, can I just say my opinion of handhelds has changed with the 3DS? I mean, my opinion of handhelds has always been kind of low. Like, before the 3DS, before I bought that was like 3-4 years ago now. Before I bought the 3DS, Lexi.
Hush.
I didn't have a handheld since the Game Boy Advance. Yeah, that's 15 years. 10 years of, I completely missed out on the DS and PSP era. Like, totally, because I always thought that handhelds were just inherently lesser than consoles. Because, more often than not, if you saw a handheld version of a console game, the console version was far superior, oftentimes not even done by the same people. And that was a turnoff to me. And so I bought a 3DS, initially wanting something to kill time, because there's a lot of time to kill whenever you're in a car out somewhere, where you don't, you know, this was before I bought a smartphone. You know, of course I have that now, so I don't use the 3DS as much. But I fucking, you know, bought it for that reason. And Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed, I saw the game, downloaded the demo from the Play Store thing, or the eShop, it's called, and thought that it was more or less identical to the console, or the console version, the Steam version. So I ended up buying the game, and through playing the Steam version, it got me playing the 3DS version again. So I've been playing that. I shifted to Mario. I'm now playing New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. I'm on World 8. I'm actually on the last level, now that I mention it. I'm on the last level of that game. And I've done everything. Like, I've unlocked the hidden worlds. I've been through that stuff. So I'm on the last level of Super Mario DS. New Super Mario Brothers DS. So that's what I've been playing. And that's basically it, really. That's that. I have on the script what I've been playing off stream since the last episode. That's all I have, and that's it. So you found out. So we're gonna move into the random topics, I guess. The general conversation. I gave you a weird look right there. What? Yeah. Totally no sold that glare. But today is 5 years of the Chucklers.
Can't believe it, dude.
Can't believe it either. It didn't hit me, though, until I edited that very first YouTube video and saw just how far we've come. Because I never ever rewatch our old stuff. Once it goes up on YouTube or Twitch, I do not rewatch it. I don't. You know, I just go back to memory and, you know, I watch it when I edited it. You know, like that was the last time I think I watched it. So going back and watching that was the wake-up call, man. That's when I realized just how much time had passed, man. In 2012, man, that's a long time now. We've actually, like, we're all in very different places in our life.
Yeah.
Now, like, compared to then. Like, I didn't have a car. I didn't have this place.
5 years ago, I had a piece of shit-ass job. Still got a piece of shit-ass job that paid better.
I just had a camera. Like, in fact, the same camera that we're using here is the camera we use. The same equipment, basically, as far as that concerned. You know, we were going to record this on a computer, but it overheated and cut off twice. So,
twice. Not once, twice.
Camera is Plan B, so that's why it probably doesn't look or sound as good as it should. But what can you do? Plan C at this point.
We fucking did it, okay?
In fact, Plan A was the gaming hut. 5 years ago tonight, we had a launch party. We didn't record or stream this, I don't think. Or if we did, we never released it. But we had like a launch party.
Fucking crazy! It was fucking up on us so much.
We had a tent outside Chris's house because Chris lived with his dad. He doesn't anymore. He lives elsewhere. He doesn't even live in the same place. That's why he's never involved in our stuff. It's because he lives elsewhere and he's got a job and he's too good for our fucking country folk. So the plan was we were going to use the gaming hut, and today I had it set up. I had the walls. I've got it right here on the table, just off camera. I'm actually padding the tent. I had it set up, you know, and there was the threat of thunderstorms. And the thunderstorms they looked like it was probably going to happen. And because I've already lost tents to storms in the past, like they just straight up, like the frames bend and collapse. I didn't want to chance it, so I took the tent down and stuck it in here and ran with Plan B. We were actually going to set the tent up ahead of time, like hours ago now.
Yeah.
Because we've been here since like, what, 9, 10? And it's after, what time is it? It's got to be close to 1 now.
Oh, dude, it's past 1.
I'm going to get a time.
It's 2 o'clock.
2:23, what the fuck? It was way too late, it gotten dark. And the plan was that we were going to have the gaming hut, because we had the gaming hut before. The last time we used it in 2015. I think episode 5 of Undercover, that was in the gaming hut. And you could see, like, it's a tent with white walls. And I think we used 2 tents then, but we were just going to use the 1 now. Same setup, tent, stool, computer, screen, camera, and lights. I don't know if you could even tell it, but we're not using the fluorescent lights in the studio. We're actually using a softbox light, another light up there, and a light behind the television right there. So yeah, this is lit pretty well. It was going to look even better because I was going to backlit the walls and stuff. Like it was backlight it all, and it was going to look cool. I thought, but it got dark. It was too late. The threat of the storm just meant we couldn't do it. So we promise maybe the next Undercover, maybe it won't be fucking 90 degrees either. The next time. Yeah. We'll do an episode, maybe episode 12 in the gaming hut. But up to today, it was going to be out here. So Plan B was in here like the last.
And it started raining patchy. Rain here, stop, rain, stop, rain,
it was
stop,
weird.
Rain, stop.
And I just didn't want to chance it. But it's just weird being 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It don't seem like it. In a lot of ways, it does not seem that amount of time. Even whenever you think, we're not exactly the most consistent people. We do take long breaks between runs, but at the same time, that's a lot of time. It seems like yesterday I got that light and the green screen and was doing Minecraft with you on PS3. Like that was 3 years ago almost. That's great. In October, I think that'll be 3 years ago. That's fucking crazy. Hell, in September 2014, I got this computer, this epic gaming computer. That changed everything, man. That unlocked streams. That unlocked fucking, HD stuff. Like, come a long way. We got the fucking studio now. That's the latest thing is, this was a work in progress in the last episode. Now we're pretty much moved in. There's still junk on the sides, but we got a lot more space here. We got a coffee maker there. We got a television that's wall mounted. It's a chill space. Yeah, absolutely. And we've sometimes come here. I've got all my movies, including all my old past DVDs, all over there. Movies. Got books, video games. The PS3 is out here. Got a fan. You could probably hear the fan in the background. Actually, sorry about that. But it's hot. It's fucking 90 degrees.
Yep.
We've got it's a cool little setup now. We got got my drums just behind there set up. I've been playing the drums again, all the guitars and stuff. It's coming along a lot better than it was even in the last episode 10. That wasn't that long ago, but
no.
4 months comes by really quickly.
Work in progress, brother.
Yeah,
work in progress.
So it's just weird, man. It just feels weird. And I'm glad it worked out this way, where we got to record this on the anniversary. Yeah. It worked out. I don't know when this will actually be up online. Hopefully not too terribly long. But, there's ideas for this place, too. I guess we can segue to that topic. Ideas for this place that have not really happened yet. Of course, I've got my drums, like I said. I've got all my musical instruments and stuff, but it goes even more than that. I've got keyboards, synthesizers. I could set it up to practice with. I've got a double bass, giant fucking drum set in the basement that could be brought up here. I've just got my small practice kit in here now. Little 6-piece, 7-piece kit, I think. It sounds much bigger than it actually is. It's a lot of drums, but they're very physically tiny drums. But got that, set that up, have a little practice space. I could record it, maybe, set up like a little home studio. Got a workbench right here. Heavy duty too. This thing's nice. Got tools right here, repair work for electronics. Thought about getting into that. Storage for all my EV stuff, all the lights are all out here. I was going to bring the computer out, but the problem with the computer was we found out recently, in fact, that there are problems with the electrical wiring, and there's a leaky roof in a couple of places, so I don't feel comfortable bringing that expensive-ass fucking $1,000 computer with 3 monitors and an entire decked-out stuff with spotty electrical wiring and leaky roof. Like, that just seems like a bad idea, so that's on hold. But it's good for that stuff. It only leaks when it's a downpour, so that's the good thing. Like, it was a particularly bad storm that day when I found that out. But it also opens the door, in here to do special stuff like branching off from our regular Twitch stuff, because I can bring the computer out here to have smaller setups, I guess. Like in IRL tabletop games,
Yes, poker.
I've got a round table.
Poker, Uno.
Poker, Uno.
Cards Against Humanity. Fan favorite.
Yeah,
My
great
favorite.
game. Aaron's got the actual cards against humanity. And we could do that. We could do on-location undercover episodes. Maybe film it with our phones or something, like a small on-the-go setup. You know,
trying to plan something in the future for
like
something
a road
like
trip.
that. Like a road trip,
Wouldn't that be
take you
cool?
with us.
Like a undercover road trip episode. That would be the bee's knees, man.
Yep.
You know, have different sections and different parts. Tour of the place, basically. That would be neat. I would be totally on board doing that. And maybe even like collaborations with other streamers, cause you know I've gotten into streaming solo on Twitch at ManicProfessor, or Twitch.tv/ManicProfessor. That's my link. Go follow, by the way, and subscribe to the Chucklers also, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Check us out on Twitch.
Follow us on Twitter at the Chucklers.
Drop a donation.
Yeah, but anyways, collaborations. You know, I know more people through streaming. And I'm sure these people would be open to doing like race games, anything cool like that. You know, not necessarily like an event per se, just something laid back, cool multiplayer games with Scotty maybe. We've thought about opening up our Minecraft server to only trusted friends, like people who have Minecraft on PC.
I do. Just
you just gotta have
no PC.
You gotta know us. Gotta be in the know. And if you know us and are interested in playing Minecraft on PC, hit us up, man. We will totally be open to, or at least I'm open.
Yeah, no Tom Tool dickery, okay? No be doing no shit.
No trolling.
Yeah, no trolling. No fucking cowboy hot dog shit, okay?
Catboy hot dog.
Yes, cowboy hot dog shit. Okay,
say that
none of that.
times quickly. But you know, we would be open to stuff like that, honestly. You know, I would like branching out, starting this stuff. And plus, you know, we have somewhat of a schedule, or had before this whole situation about a month ago. On my end, Twitch.tv/ManicProfessor, in 2 weeks, maybe a little over 2 weeks, Sonic Mania comes out. And I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I'm totally fucking going to. As soon as this paycheck comes through, as an instant pre-order. Day one stream, for sure. For sure. Day one, all-day stream, Sonic Mania. And I want to get into other Sonic games, too, that I haven't played in ages, or ever, in a couple cases. Stream those, Sonic Colors, Generations, Lost World, even though I don't like Lost World. I hope, with knowing that Sonic Mania and the other game, I think Forces is the name of it, that's coming later this fall. As a Sonic fan, I've got stuff to look forward to, so I'm gonna maybe, you know, do like a little mini marathon, playing the games, the more recent games that I've not played. Because last year I basically fulfilled my list of games that I haven't played in a long time. You know, I did Sonic 06, I did Unleashed about a year ago now, over a year ago maybe now, and beat that for the first time. Even though I love that game, that was a great game. But you know, maybe, hopefully. I mean, I hope that I can do it a little more consistently than I have been doing. And of course, the Chucklers, we haven't streamed yet, but I know we have a Trollcraft server, modded Minecraft, for the misadventures of Scooty and Manny. That's what we call it. Scotty and I are set up. Darth Vapor, follow him also, twitch.tv/Darth_Vapor, and the E in Vapor is a 3. That's important. So, be sure to follow us. Again, we're gonna say that. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. If you've made it this far, I fucking congratulations.
Yo,
it's a long time. I know. The story alone was crazy, and a lot of talking on my end.
Imagine how we felt having to do it 3 times. Getting a third of the way through it, and all of a sudden, bloop,
setting this up took a long time because you know the camera, that was the last resort.
Yeah, like
so,
this is.
Just know if it sounds bad or looks bad, sorry, that was a backup plan.
That was all backup plan.
Sorry,
we winging it.
But this should work. It should work.
It should be fine.
But yeah, in the next episode, Chucklers Undercover, episode 12, I will tell the story of the best ham sandwich I have ever eaten.
What the fuck?
Bye bye.
Bye, guys. And remember, it's always best if you just chuckle.
Pew, 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 pew.